On one side, we have all the big oil companies. We got Shell, we got Chevron, we got Exxon, we got Phillips 66. We got the people who's making all the money, lying to everybody, burning up our planet, stealing our futures. And on the other side, we got the youth, the people, the next generation who can envision a better future for us all. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Some people talk about you like they know all about you. When you get down, they doubt you. And when you tip it on the scene, yeah, they talking about it. Cause they can't tip on the scene, what you talk about it. Talking about it. When you get elevated, they love it or they hate it. You dance up on them haters, keep getting funky on the scene while they jumping around you. They trying to take all of your dreams, but you can't allow it. Cause baby, whether you're high or low, or whether you're high or low, you got to tip on the tightrope. Tip on the tightrope. Baby, baby, whether you're high or low, baby, whether you're high or low, you got to tip on the tightrope. Now let me see you do the tightrope.
Calling for change while cruising by Governor Newsom's backyard. The paddling protesters demanding Governor Newsom put California on a path to phase out fossil fuel.
A new kind of movement rolling down the river, hoping to make a splash in other communities across the state.
And we're hoping this is the seed that grows and start to continue to do both more activism and continue the campaign to call on Governor Newsom to end oil drilling in California.
The kayaktivists also protested polluters in downtown Sacramento today, marching to the Capitol and holding a die-in to symbolize the threat they say big oil has to our health.
Advocates from Last Chance Alliance were at 5 different locations to highlight what they say is regulatory negligence and big oil greed hurting Californians.
It's just corporate greed in its worst form. They're using record profits from price gouging us at the pumps to flood our county with $8 million of lies.
At the protest of fossil fuel companies gaining record profits, they're also voicing their concerns, saying oil extraction threatens the safety of communities across the state.
Pair of idle oil wells that aren't in use but haven't been sealed, were found with what the California Department of Conservation called pinhole-sized leaks. Those wells sit mere hundreds of feet from this housing development. Apart from the man distributing flyers, Cesar Aguirre, an activist with the Central California Environmental Justice Network, the neighbors remained in the dark.
It's been a week since we first brought you the findings of methane gas leaking at explosive levels from idle oil wells near a community. The day after the story aired, the state alerted residents of the leaks and began community forums to address public health concerns. But the work does not stop there.
Dozens of protesters blocked the entrance to the California Department of Conservation today. People exposed to oil drilling pollution and their allies are protesting the alleged mishandling of dangerous methane leaks by state oil regulator CalGEM. More than 40 oil wells were found leaking methane as close as 100 yards from homes in North Bakersfield. Communities are calling for the state to mandate 3,200 feet separating neighborhoods from new and existing oil infrastructure.
There's far too many people who are affected by respiratory issues, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. So that's what was at stake here, human lives and their health.
I think community organizing was an important part of it, and the failure of regulators coming to light is what helped push this over the finish line, right? Inspections have been done over the phone with CalGEM. And when we went door to door and talked to a lot of the people where these leaks happened, they were oil and gas workers. And they believed that the leaks were real and that the danger was real. So connecting those community voices to decision makers is what's important. And I'm happy that our voices were finally heard.
Finally, on August 12th, Governor Newsom called on the state legislature to pass a bill that would end neighborhood drilling. And just a few weeks later, on the 11th hour of the very last day, a California state legislature approved the bill. And on September 16, Newsom signed it into law.
You can rock or you can leave, watch me tip without you. No, 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 whether am I alone? Whether am I alone? I'm gonna tip on the tightrope.
Governor Newsom continues his battle with big oil and again called for a price gouging penalty.
Climate activists with Last Chance Alliance say they want to draw attention to the profits oil companies are making while Californians struggle to pay at the pump.
Eat clean air, not another billionaire.
Climate activists calling for a cap on big oil profit. Demonstrators waved signs, wrote messages in chalk, and performed street theater to get the attention of passing drivers. They accuse big oil of being a threat to the economy and the environment.
The oil industry is driving a cost of living crisis for most Californians right now.
We don't want the people that can afford it least to be impacted the most by the fossil fuel industry's greed.
We don't deserve, as working class black and brown folks, to have to pay more for billionaires to get more and more money every day.
And that's why the governor got really angry and said, we need a windfall profits tax. This is a price gouging penalty.
We say no to corporate greed. Climate justice is what we need. We say no to corporate greed. And polluter greed.
Demonstrators are calling on legislators to pass a cap on oil company profits and say Monday's protest was just one way to stand up to big oil greed.
The fact is, they're ripping you off. Their record profits are coming at your expense.
We're calling on our elected officials to support Gavin Newsom's proposal for a windfall profits tax on these big oil and gas profits.
We will not stand for this as Californians because we deserve a good future, and we also deserve to not be paying the salaries of big oil execs.
We're not going to stand by while greedy oil companies fleece Californians.